Yo, what up, Don Kane? What up, Mighty Falenka?
It's good, Moon Man.
What's going on, homie? I feel like it's been a minute since we talked.
It has. It's been a little minute. Been busy getting this work in, man.
Yeah, you're also chaining up 3D modelers on me too, bruh.
Yeah, I got Jack Stone in a dark room, but in about, let's say, a week or two, these NFTs that I've been talking about for months now are going to be. We're finally going to start marketing them, so people are going to be able to see what they look like.
Oh, facts. What up, Sammy? And yeah, man, I'm excited. I know Frankie was telling me that you keep on chaining up these different people in the family, and you're doing your thing with them. But that just lets me know that you're working on something big. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
I think the people of the community are going to like what we have to offer.
Oh hell yeah, man! I'm excited. I think you guys already know what this is about. I think anybody tuning in on YouTube, once I upload this video, will know what this is about. But let me just give a quick intro for those in like 10 years down the road and they're looking at this OG content. They're like, yes. But anyways, so thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, whether that's here on stage in the audience, whether that's 5 years down the road, or literally just tonight or tomorrow. Being a bounty hunter, in the Star Atlas Metaverse, I only felt it's right to do these discussions. Did one like 2 months ago. Felt like it's been long enough. Now it's time to do another. And here we're just gonna theory craft, and we're just gonna talk all things bounty hunting. And yeah, man, it's just gonna be that real discussion people want to hear. The people that want to get nitty gritty out there in the metaverse. So yeah, boom, there it is. There's the intro, and now we can kick it off and do whatever we want. um, so Bets, go ahead and come up if you want to, homie. Yeah. So what do you guys think about bounty hunting, man? I know it's hard to really put a thumb on it because we're still so early in this game. But any new discoveries? Any new thoughts? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I don't want to be put on the Moon Man's bounty list. That's what I'm thinking.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, I'm not trying to be put on the hit list of the Alessio family. It's getting dangerous over there, dude.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm thinking I chose the wrong time to start a pizza, really, didn't I?
Yeah, yeah. Just make sure you got that alarm that will go off, and you'll be good.
No, man, it's always good to make pizza.
See, this is what you call the privilege of being an elite mooner. You get to be on the stage immediately.
That could be the privilege, or I've always brought you on stage very quickly. Bets, you cut it out right now.
I'm sorry.
How you feeling, Bets?
Well, if I was to show you an image of what I'm doing right now, you'd probably get a little jealous, depending on what altitude you live at.
Yeah, relax again out there, dude. Shirt off, sipping mojitos.
All right, you know me too much.
That's all we see you doing on FaceTime. You know what I mean? Just relaxing, not thinking anything about the chaos in the world. Just chilling and relaxing, knowing that you're staking a little bit of Atlas and it's going down. So, hell yeah, man. What do you guys? We can talk about some bounty hunting, of course, but we are the bounty hunters, so we can talk about Star Atlas. What do you guys think about this price action on Atlas and this whole market going down?
I think it's indicative of how early we are in the space. So one thing that I'm seeing is it's not just Star Atlas, right? So as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I know, there's two main play to earn, play and earn, whatever games that are live right now. At least the biggest ones that I know about are Star Atlas and Axie Infinity. And I mean, you're seeing the same thing in Axie Infinity. I think the problem is there's not a robust marketplace that puts ample buy pressure on the Atlas or the SLP token. right? So what happens is this is the problem with NFT projects that are staking and like offering yield as well. Is the token essentially has no utility, right? The only utility the token has is to pay as a payout um, for staking your assets, right? So basically the way the dynamic you're seeing is, let's use Star Atlas as an example. Let's say you stake your spaceship, right? Well, everybody else is staking their spaceships, right? There's no reason you're actually incentivized to stake it, right? You're incentivized not stake it, right? So everyone's staking all their spaceships. There's no buy pressure on Atlas. What are they going to do with Atlas? They're just going to sell it the second they get it, because they know, whether it be subconsciously or consciously, that Atlas is going to go down until there's ample buy pressure. And this is just kind of, it's two things, right? It's I wouldn't say it's a poor model. It's just due to the nature of the space, like we're so early. Until there's utility built around these tokens, they're essentially, uh, you know, worthless to a degree. And it's the same thing you see in NFT projects where you're staking your NFTs for some kind of yield. Um, there's nothing behind that token, right? The only utility that token has is for you to sell it, right? There is nothing else to do with that token. So if that's the only utility for everyone, the second they get the tokens, they're just going to sell it, right? There's no reason to buy that token. Now, the bet is, right, eventually, some of these projects are going to, and might I say, a very small percentage of these projects, probably less than 1%, will build ample utility around the tokens, and you will see over time a stabilization of price, right? So, I'm making the bet that Star Atlas is going to be one of the biggest, best projects in the space. And I think that, excuse me, I think that, one day they're going to build that ample buy pressure on the token. But for now, every single project that quote unquote offers yield is, it's essentially baseless, right? What we're doing is we're making a bet that in the future there will be utility behind those coins.
Yeah, I couldn't
Can I,
agree
can
more.
I, can I put a counterpoint to that?
Sure, let's hear it.
Yeah, please do.
All right, so I mean, that was very eloquent. I think it was awesome explanation and all that. But I have a kind of contrary, addition to that, and that is that Atlas has a very worthy thing, and that is that if you're staking it and you transfer it into Polis, and when the game is live, you become, very wealthy with your Polis bag. So honestly, if you're staking and you're getting your Atlas and converting it into Polis, and then you're actually staking your Polis in Tulip, then you're making like a bandit right now. So I would say that Atlas has a really good thing. It's just that not a lot of people are paying attention to that. And yes, we are super early, but at the end of the day, that is our benefit right now. The low prices are just it's just awesome for the entries for somebody like us.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think it's the same bet I'm making, right? It's that the distinction is that right now, as of right now, there is no utility. But once the game is live, I think that there will be, right? But I also think that 99% of these projects, especially the ones that are, just selling profile pictures, um, I don't think that, like, it's a mathematical equation, right? How many startups have failed over the years, right? Because that's what these are. That's what these NFT projects are. Is they're startups that are essentially community funded, right? It's like a what was that one app? Crowdsource,
Well,
right?
basically, we're literally we are the VCs.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Uh,
I think that's exactly what it is. And I think a lot of these NFTs out now, they're just useless. And I'm really just sick and tired of seeing. Now, mind you, I just dropped my NFTs, but there's a reason behind that. But I'm just sick and tired of seeing 10,000 NFTs go out of every single animal you can think of, robots, this and that. They just don't have any meaning. You know what I mean? And I just really feel like it's it's literally just a money grab, you know? Um, and there's just nothing. I feel like there's no community being built because nobody wants to, like, too many, there's already too many people out there in communities to have time or to have space in their day to go find a new community when it comes to these crazy ass NFTs that are being released all the time. That's just that my thought on that. But yo, I do want to talk about Polis real quick because Polis seems to be um, going down a lot, and I don't know. I know I've been talking about it with some of my friends, but I don't know who else is kind of talking about it like this. And let me know what you guys think. But I really feel like Polis is one of those tokens. Crabman's not here. We were talking about it though, but Polis is
Crabman
one
is
of those.
definitely here, sir.
Oh shit, he's right there, dude, right underneath me. I couldn't tell because of the damn Mooners, the Mooners profile. It's hilarious. Let's go, Crabman. Um, but what we were talking about was my bad, homie. What we were talking about was like the way Polis is like we look at it in the sense of we're never gonna try to grab a moon bag of Polis to flip later. Like I could care less if Polis went to $1,000. I'm not flipping any Polis, and this is just my honest opinion. I might get rid of a couple, but like I'm not flipping Polis because like it's not about the dollar amount that is the price tag of Polis. It's about how many Polis you have, and so it's just one of those things like how much can you accumulate to have power later on in the game? Because a lot of these tokens and a lot of these cryptocurrencies, unless you're a day trader for Polis and you can do something like that, but all these other cryptocurrencies, it's you invest in them a little bit because you like the company and the project, but a lot of people are just trying to have that moon bag. You know what I mean? They're trying to flip it later on if it goes to the moon. But with Polis, like maybe there are day traders, I'm sure there is, and maybe there are people buying it here at $1 so they can flip it at $100, maybe. But I really feel like if you're in the game and you're in Star Atlas to play Star Atlas, you don't care about the dollar amount. You're going to try to get a good price, but you really just care about how much Polis you have because we're all under uh, the understanding of it gives you power, and this is the one that you want to hold. Anybody else got something to say on that? Yeah, go ahead, Krish.
Yeah, Crabman, you wanted to say something?
Oh no, it's all you, bud. Go ahead.
Okay. So I wanted to complete what Duncan beautifully mentioned about why the price is that low. Well, we've seen like what's going on, and Duncan said it very well. The thing is that, for example, last year we had two marketplaces. Like SA team would gather a lot of money and start like giving people from the stake, giving them profits. So the thing is that for a couple of months we didn't have any buy pressure in the market for the Atlas. That's why you're seeing bigger swings last year on Atlas charts. But for this problem, the team decided to release a ship every week or two ships, 2 3 weeks. So they're gonna make sure that this buying pressure and selling pressure would be more balanced this year for 2022, and this way you're gonna see less swings in the price of Atlas. For example, they're trying, because Atlas is uh, in-game token, so you don't want it to have huge inflations and then like black swan suddenly because of the sell pressure. You want it to become like more stable and like with a little bit of up and downs in the chart. You know what I mean? So that's why they're doing this. And also, I believe the Titans would be very profitable for the team. We're gonna see $50 million of income for the Star Atlas team this year, only on Titans, or maybe more because they're gonna go to the, auction for this. And the other thing about what David mentioned about, yeah, of course, if you degen into a Star Atlas and you're full in, you might want to transfer your Atlas income into Polis, exchange it for the Polis. But remember, a lot of like investors think this way, that I want to put 20% of my portfolio into a Star Atlas, but a lot of people want to risk free their investment. A lot of people want to have their own uh, initial money after a year. So not everyone does that, you know. But like right now, as I know, Duncan does that. A lot of us are transferring at least some of our Atlas income into Polis for sure. Yeah, sorry, I talked a lot.
No, definitely. I think you bring up the idea of the concept of reinvestment versus an income producing asset, right? So some people, like in the future,
Exactly.
the idea is you could buy a spaceship and that could pay your rent, right? Unfortunately, it's not possible as of now because of the dynamic of the Atlas token having no buy pressure. Now, what I do like is that the Star Atlas team has mentioned multiple times that that this year they're going to have a steady release of ships, and I think as long as I'm not sure what the exact number of ships that are denominated in Atlas that you can only buy with Atlas versus the ones that you can only buy with USDC. But as long as a majority of them are Atlas only, right? That's gonna inevitably put buy pressure on the Atlas token. I mean, it's also good to think about too. I mean, we're in a freaking bear market, damn near down almost 50%, right? Of the entire market. The crypto market cap was like 3.1 trillion a few months ago, and now we're sitting at like 1.6, 1.7 trillion, right? So there's a lot of dynamics going on, right? There's a lot of different things that are going on behind the scenes, so a lot of variables.
I just want to reset the room real quick just to let everybody know what's going on. Thank you guys so much for coming in here. Everybody on stage is a part of the Star Atlas community. They are bounty hunters. We are bounty hunters. If there's any of you guys out there in the audience that would love to come up and speak about bounty hunting or Star Atlas in general, please, please, please feel free to request to come up. But that's pretty much the discussion. Pretty self-explanatory in the title. And yeah, just thank you for being here. And if you feel free to retweet the room, I would appreciate that very much. And then also put a little hashtag in there, maybe like We Are Star Atlas. But yeah, let's get right back into the talk though. I do think that it is good that we're going to see possible buy pressure and them change the purchasing of ships into fully, fully purchasing ships in with Atlas rather than USDC. I don't know when they're going to make that change, but I know they're trying to slowly make that change. And the steady drop of ships is going to help for sure.
I would hope that they're actually contemplating the average person and that these ship prices are not astronomical. Because one is getting profit and the other one is just soaking people because I got two of these Unibombas and this because they were affordable and they're awesome and they have a utility of being able to do mass damage and things like that in the game. But if they make everything 700, 600, 700, 800, 900, $1,000, it's like it makes it to where it's not attainable. I understand that they're putting some ships that are these little tiny motorcycles and different one-person ships, but if it's not attainable to the mass, then they're not going to do great. That's my concern.
Yeah, that's a good point. I will say, and I am biased when I say this, but I think that's kind of where the importance of guilds come in. So, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I've heard Swagner and the team say plenty of times that in the future, and I don't know if they have any dates on this, there's going to be some sort of lending infrastructure. And the idea is that a guild clearly is going to have more assets under management than a single player. And so what would end up happening is the guild itself would lend to guild members, right? So let's say a guild got funding or something like that, and they had a bunch of ships that were just well out of reach of the normal person's wallet. They could lend these ships via a scholarship program, just like we see in Axie Infinity, to where people could theoretically operate even a Titan ship, right? I'm sure that scholarship for a Titan ship would be multiple people would get a scholarship for the Titan ship, probably hundreds of people for a Titan ship. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point that you brought up about guilds and helping and lending. because I think that's, a real big reason why a lot of us push that. Hey, if you want to go lone wolf, that's great and dandy. That could be good for you. There's nothing wrong with that. I did that for about a month before I decided to go to the final frontier. But that's the strength of being part of a guild, because you can allow people to help you out in your guild to raise some money for yourself if you do not have the money to purchase a ship, because they can be expensive, but there is entry cost to get in. But also, being a part of a guild, you guys can start raising money, doing so many different things during a bear market when your crypto gains might not be as high. That allows you to purchase these ships. So that's why, good point, man, because that's why I think being a part of a guild is very is a really good thing everybody should look into doing, because it allows you to hopefully be a part of a team and get some better assets. And if you don't have the best assets, or you don't have enough money to get these big assets, at least you have a team that has your back, that has a nice fleet.
Hey, Ashes, you're all quiet over there. What's going on?
I don't think Ashes is up here, but we can bring Frankie up.
Frankie Diamonds, baby.
Yeah, Ashes, if you want to come on up, homegirl. Anybody else in the audience, if you want to come up, please do. Please do.
Is
Space is
Frankie
open to
the
everybody.
mafia guy?
Yeah, Frankie is part of the Alezio family. It's Frankie Diamonds, baby.
Yeah, he's one of the cool guys.
Coolest voice on the internet, folks.
He's the voice
right.
of the Alessio family.
That's true. So let's hear a little bit more about maybe what you guys are doing over there at the Alezio family, Don Kane, that could be beneficial for bounty hunters. I know there's some things that you guys had in the works that you guys talked about, about a month or two ago. Is anything progressed there?
Sure. Yeah, I know I spoke with you. We spoke with Carminole at the Bounty Bar, kind of on our ambitions in the metaverse and this idea of bounty hunting. I don't know. It just seems to me that's one of the most fun things, like from a game perspective. One of the most fun things that you could do is bounty hunting, right? Like, there's going to be, if anyone's been in some of the conversations in the Star Atlas Discord, like the different not town halls, but they do like different little get-togethers of people. There's this one pirate guild called Skull and Bones, and now they say they're pirate themed, but they all plan to be completely anonymous, and I wonder why that reason is. Regardless, I think there's going to be people that are even if they do have altruistic intent, which that doesn't, they've never claimed that, but even if they did, right, to give them the benefit of the doubt, there will be people with nefarious intent, right? And these people are going to be ruthless, right? And whatever laws that we all agree to govern ourselves with, they will break them, and then people are they're going to get bounties on their head, because it's there's this allusion to the game Eve Online, where guilds were formed, and there was hundreds of thousands of players, and there are these massive wars, and they were just ruthless, and many different people's assets were just completely destroyed. And while we're all friends here together, before the game exists, I think there's going to be an exponential level of ruthlessness in a game where people are literally using it to feed their family, right? Like, there's going to be potentially billions, and if you're as bullish as me, trillions in these different metaverses. And that's, I mean, just think about human nature, right? Like, I know we all want to be an optimist, but we also have to be realists at the same time, that there will be nefarious actors. And I think I'm not gonna sit up here and tout bounty hunting as an altruistic profession, right? Because clearly, we're after the money, right? Like, you're incentivized to get a bounty for the money that's placed on the bounty. But at the end of the day, I think there could be different dynamics of bounty hunters that we maybe haven't seen in the past, that could mimic some, like, there could be altruistic bounty hunters versus nefarious bounty hunters, I guess.
You know what's crazy, Kane, is that I had tweeted out probably a month or so ago to Wagner if he was just a dubious like player of testing out human nature to see if what happens in real world what happens in the metaverse happens in real world, and the whole fact that bad players and this and that, I kind of, rules that factions make and DAOs make and all this are just paperweights, right? And then humans are going to do what they're going to do at the end of the day. So it is kind of an interesting thing to see how it plays out, because at the end of the day, I mean, I wanted to be a bounty hunter at the beginning. I was like, oh, I could do all this and I could do bad things. But then I started thinking, this stuff belongs to people and I could be harming people. And then I started thinking of the moral of it. So it's kind of hard to be a bounty hunter if you're, or an independent minded person in this game, because then you might have somebody actually stalking you down, wanting to kick your ass because you took their stuff in real life.
Yeah, I think from a philosophical standpoint, I'm more wary of pirates, right? So theoretically, I know this isn't like, I know we're not in a vacuum, but theoretically, the altruistic bounty hunters would only go after pirates. Now, clearly, a bounty could be put on anyone's head, right? So they're it's like there's two types, right? So I think to some degree, it's almost like you're going to see so many different types of bounty hunters, right? You're going to see the Django and Boba Fett bounty hunters, and then you're also going to see probably pirates that come into the space and take up bounties.
All right, so you messed up a little bit. You should have said Jin Darren.
Yeah. I actually haven't seen The Mandalorian, so I need to though.
Oh my God, you have just you busted Star Wars. How is it possible you haven't watched that yet? I don't know.
I know. I've been meaning to.
Yeah, it's almost like Star Atlas is going to be almost like a test. Like it's going to be like game theory, right? It's like a simulation of how people are going to act when real assets are at stake, um, and you're creating your own world. Uh, well, Swags and the team is creating their own world, and it's a very strange concept to me because there's real money at stake here. People are going to have to cross people. People are going to want what they want, and anybody wanting to make money from this game, you're most likely going to have to be in medium and high risk if you want some big rewards. But any reward that you do, you're taking away from somebody else. So even the most loving-hearted, good-hearted people in the space are going to be taking money off of the plate or a table of somebody else. It's really weird.
I get that, and on top of that, I'm so fearful, literally fearful, to go into any zone that I could lose my asset, that I told Commander Ardo, you'd have to pull me kicking and screaming to go into those zones.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about going into high risk because I know what's at stake here, and I'm one of those people that I can stomach a loss. But I think my biggest thing when it comes to the final frontier, I think that's why I'm operations officer. You know what I mean? There's a reason why I'm in this position, is I know I'm going to rally my troops and I'm going to rally my team members to get their asses out there. And if you're going to be a part of the final frontier and you want to be out there in high risk, then you need to be out there defending us, and you need to, know that these assets are being put on the line. And if you have big assets, but all you want to do is take an X5 out there, well, we gotta figure that out, because we need you out there with your biggest assets if you're going to be on the front lines. And there's a lot of money to be gained out there, and there's also a lot of territory to take over. But it only works if we have a majority of players that are really about playing out there. And I think that's why we have the UMA, the UMO, you know what I mean? United Metaverse Accord, which is an agreement amongst some of the biggest guilds in this game that, will work together for the greater good, and defend against, probably people coming from EVE Online, probably people coming from Star Citizen, because that will happen. I know me and Frankie Diamonds touched on that in the interview that I did with him that there is some structured teams that have been playing games like Star Atlas or what Star Atlas wants to be for a long time, and they've been in star combat, galactic warfare, and have gone through thick and thin and know what this is possibly going to be. Um, but yeah, that's the one thing I stand up for in the Final Frontier as operations officer, is that if you're going to be on the front lines with us, then you better be able to stomach a loss, because this shit is going to get real.
I think I might turn into a farmer.
That's fine too. We need crops. If I'm not mistaken, these ships do have players.
I'll
They
be
do have a
I'll be
food
the
slot.
I'll be the chef in the background going, "Go boys!"
Totally fine. We have that food and health channel in our group, and Karush posts a lot of good food in there. I posted Reese's cups. So food is definitely necessary. Go ahead, Crab Man.
Hey, I was just gonna speak about like mitigating losses going in the high risk zone. Yeah, everybody's gonna have their own level of risk they can like tolerate when we get to that point. Um, Personally, like I wouldn't want to take my entire fleet out into that if we were doing some kind of mission, because you don't want to have yourself just all tied up in knots about like, oh my God, if I lose this, I lose everything. You know what I mean? Um, like say I've got a few X6s. If we've got a mission going, I'd probably bring like one X6, or some sort of fraction out of my fleet, like 20, 30, 40%. Because like if we had something go down, it would just wreck you completely if you brought your whole fleet out there. I don't know. Are we on a different mindset on that, Moon Man, or what are you thinking,
No,
bud?
no, no, no. Because I guess so, but you also have to think about it like this: when you're working with like C9, C11s, these things can hold uh, large, 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 large fleets. So you can have three C9s, three C11s, and depending on the size of your team, everybody's going to be able to put their fleets on that ship and roll out, and then be on the side of that ship rolling out together in one of your ships. But the other seven ships in your fleet are on the C11, on the C9, which can take, I'm sure, a lot of damage. But then you're also going to be rolling out with other people that are in the UMO, next to their fleets that are in your in your faction, right? So it's not like you have to transport all of your stuff by yourself and go, on your own in one direct line to wherever we're trying to go. You can throw half of your fleet, if not all of it, onto a C11, onto a C9, and these other, capital ships, large ships, whatever the case may be, if that makes sense. But
100%.
me personally, I do believe if you want to be on the front lines, you need to be able to stomach a loss and understand that that's going to happen. But there's also the possible earnings and rewards of finding loot in a high risk zone that gives you $700. And let's say you discover three of those in a day. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm just saying it could be very lucrative. And now you've just made, what would that be? $2,100 in 6 hours because you discovered a couple loots. That might not be every day, but you know what I mean? The high risk zone is going to be very lucrative. So,
Well,
you
I,
might be
I'm
able to
good.
make up for your loss.
I'm good with the thought process as long as there's some kind of insurance value that the game gives. Like you're putting so much Atlas a month towards insurance, so if you do lose a $700 or $800 ship, you're not out $800. You know what I mean? You are able to recover that or something.
well, that's
But
why
yeah,
it's
seven
on
eight hundred
you
bucks
to
out of your
like know how
pocket is
much
a big
loss you can
fucking thing.
stomach. It's on you to know how much loss you can stomach. Like they might set something up like that for us, but like, we get to that point where we're going out there, you've got to decide how much you want to risk and how much you're going to be able to operate properly. Because if you've got everything you've got on the line, are you going to be able to function properly with the group when you're so nervous about losing it? But I'll shut up because we got a couple people with their hands
Correct.
up. So
Yeah,
thanks.
Karush, go ahead, and then Frankie will go
Yeah,
to you.
I think what Crabman mentioned, we had the same conversation with him and Variant, I guess, the other night. Like, just look at it as trading point of view, as an investing point of view. Well, honestly, a lot of people cannot take these risks. They're not traders. They just want to hop in, put some money in, and play some games, have some funds, and make money. They're not investors. They're not traders. They cannot like deal with this kind of stuff. And maybe the loss, that crap I mentioned. And I think we have to deal with that. Be realistic about this one. Like we know, for example, at least your Final Frontier, we have this much players with this much ships, but when things go sideways, when we are talking about losing your NFT, burning your NFT, a lot of people won't be like they don't want to come with you or join with you in order to have profit in a red zone. They just want to stay in a green zone and do their farm or whatever and stuff, and make a good profit, a steady income. And also at this, as Duncan mentioned, a huge population of Star Atlas this year, I think, is going to be from third world countries or less developed countries because they're trying to increase the number of cheap ships in order to attract more players. You know, so these players come in with one or two extra small ships. They cannot take the risk of losing that asset. Until they acquire it through the income from the game. You know what I mean?
Good point. Go ahead, Frankie.
I think something everybody's forgetting is these ships will be craftable as well. So it's not like you're just going to have your assets on the line. You'll be able to play in whatever, clan, crafted ships you crafted, things like that. So it's not just going to be your assets. These are replaceable assets. Get me?
Yeah, 100%. Let me reset the room real quick. There's some new people in here. Thank you, everybody in the audience that has joined in on this discussion. We're a bunch of bounty hunters discussing all the things that can happen and, all the, the imagination that we bring to the table of the Star Atlas Metaverse. That's what it's going to be in the future. And we'll continue into this. Please raise your hand if you want to come up. Jedi, go ahead and speak.
Hey guys, so I've just been doing my normal thing of doing too much research and kind of looking into different aspects of things as far as the metaverse. Lately, I've been trying to actually look at seeing what the current Web 2 metaverse is and what there's out there that's similar to it. So I recently got an Oculus and they have it's called VR Chat. It's not too super, it's not super glossy. It's not the prettiest thing. But essentially, it is a free service where anyone can go in there, make their own free 3D avatars if they want to make it themselves, or you can hire someone. You can build out, different worlds and whatever you want to do, make mini games, that kind of thing. So with this, as far as the bounty hunting goes, I know there's currently like a kill list that's out on it for VR chat. And maybe later we'll see something like that populate in the metaverse, and it's kind of it'll be a generalized um, kill list or something like that as far as bounty hunters or net runners are concerned in the future. And currently in the game, what the people that that actually do the dirty work for this kind of stuff, they actually have skins that will crash worlds. And so this is one thing I don't really see coming into the current or the Web3 metaverse as much, um, just because I don't see people's avatars just being able to jump from metaverse to metaverse as easily, as well as I see it more vetting before you can just upload whatever you want to. So I don't see that happening as much. But what's everyone's thoughts as far as like the thought behind a netrunner personality and the people that might actually take it to the next level for bounty hunting, um, and the good and the bad of that, and what could possibly go with that?
Yeah, if anybody wants to take that, you can. Maybe break down a little bit more of what a net runner is.
Yeah, that was
or
a
what
deep
what you're trying to say.
conversation right there.
So I just kind of mean the people that are actually going to be going to be like the truest bounty hunter. They're actually going to have hacks or have things where they can crash worlds, they can crash servers. Like, what, it's going to be probably a lot of, they're probably just going to get banned very soon, but everything being decentralized and you don't need, KYC just to make an account and buy an NFT. Someone, if they wanted to, and if they could find an exploit to do something like that in a game, do you think that will ever come to fruition?
Yes.
Yeah, I think 100%. People are going to try to steal assets from wallets, this, that, and the third. And I can
Yeah,
say that
can see a lot of this stuff. Yeah, Moonman, you're cutting out.
the
Okay. Guys, is it me or Moonman is
most
cutting
people
out?
have bounties put on
Yeah,
them.
he's
And I think the
Yo,
other thing that
Moonman,
people are facing,
you're rugging.
yeah, all that green everything. Am I cut out, yo?
Man, you're ragging.
We can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you.
All right, so
Yes,
somebody
Duncan,
else
you
take it
want to
away.
take?
Somebody else talk.
Oh.
Well,
Sure. Yeah, I think it's an issue that's characteristic of the broader crypto space, right? It's like it all comes down to the idea. Well, one of the biggest things is custody, right? So self custody. There's a trade off, right? So on one end, a government, let's say a rogue government, can't freeze your funds, right? You have self custody; they can't freeze that. You can go anywhere in the world, and you'll have access to your assets. On the other hand, right, the con to that is that if you don't have a knowledge of like operational security, and how to keep these things secure using a hardware wallet, all these different things, you're a prime target for malicious actors and even malicious entities, right? There's entire groups of people that go around hacking and rugging people. So it's and then and then there's the other aspect of people that are literally looking for bugs, right? So like it's actually funny that you mentioned that and consider them bounty hunters, because that's kind of what they are, but really they're bug hunters, right? A bounty hunter would be more of like a white hat, gray hat, whereas a bug hunter that's looking for exploits in the underlying technology. They would probably be more like a black hat, right? If they don't have good intention, if their intention is to walk away with funds, with somebody else's funds, then yeah. But I mean, it's an issue of the broader crypto space that will percolate into the metaverse, and we're going to see many exploits, many hacks, and it's just nature of how kind of early we are to the space, I guess.
Yeah, plus this is natural. This is the process of every game or application that's going to go through in the future or grows. This stuff is going to happen. We experienced this in World of Warcraft, that people are being started to use the different hacking methods. As Duncan mentioned, they would exploit the bugs or farm them and use them as a way to increase their income or acquiring some specific items. But Blizzard started to ban them, fixing these bugs one by one, and reached to the point that hacking Blizzard servers or games would be very difficult in recent years. And for Star Atlas, it's going to be the same. Yeah, if they find out these bugs, which is going to happen, it's natural, and they're going to try to fix it and also ban your character. Do not forget, beside your asset, that it's in your wallet, and they cannot freeze it, as Duncan mentioned, but they can ban your avatar in this game. So of course you can transfer your assets to another wallet and start making new character, but you're gonna lose all your progress and all your traits or achievements or whatever it is in this game. So it's gonna happen, and it's natural. But as soon as they're trying to fix it, when it happens, it's okay and natural.
When we're talking here, it makes me feel like I'm a part of the Space Cowboy group. Like literally we're the metaverse cowboys. And it's a little adventurous, but at the same time super treacherous. So cups up to everybody with a cup of whiskey, I guess.
Barkeep, did you want to say something, bud?
Yeah, can you guys hear me now?
Cheers to that. Oh, you're
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
through
Bark.
clear. Go ahead, Muslim.
Okay, cool. Go ahead, Barkeep. I was just gonna say, go ahead. You've been waiting, homie. What up, dude?
No worries. Nice to hear from y'all. A lot of Frontierians in here. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, just to echo what Don Kane said. I mean, that whole question about like what is on and off the table as regards to bounty hunting, right? So there's going to be people that are looking to exploit, that are looking to install a skin on their ship that causes other people to get 4 more milliseconds of ping as they try to render it, or whatever. It's going to be everything that we've seen in previous games turned up to 11 because of what's on the line as far as the incentives and the rewards. So we've all got to be mindful of that. And of course, I think that like any kind of exploit of the game itself, is anti collective behavior because it means people are going to trust the game less. They're going to want to put their assets in it less if they see people exploiting it. So it's just not good to do for your own interests, in my opinion, in the big picture. But it doesn't mean people aren't going to do it. So we've all got to be aware of that. But besides that, there's a lot of interesting stuff that to me ethically is on the table because it's a game context. So, any kind of infiltration, spying, creating another wallet, joining another DAC secretly to get information on them, running them down across the chain to find their assets in another play to earn game and trying to vaporize them there so that they're forced to put more of their Star Atlas assets into the red zones to make up for the losses in other games. There's a lot that's on the table here, and I'm so excited. I'm looking at my envoy right now, staked, and I figure. So we were talking a little bit about ship allocations as well, and I just think like I'll use my F4 and some of my other ships for the DAC missions, but I kind of want to keep the envoy as like my just messing around, doing bounty hunting kind of lone wolf sort of ship. I don't know if that playstyle is going to be effective, but I want to try it out.
Yeah, I think you bring up some really good points. And I kind of want to touch back on uh, Atlas and well, not Atlas, but earning assets. And I think we have to remember when it comes to maybe being a little bit timid to take things out into high risk, we have to remember that the game is still 4 years out. That's 4 years of growth. That's 4 years of these guilds being able to raise much, much more money, and you yourself as an individual being able to raise a lot more money. We have ourselves a bear market possibly coming. If it's not next week, if it's not next month, we know it's coming within the next 4 years. It's just bound to happen, meaning things go on sale. Play it smart. You can buy some things on the low, watch those things go up, possibly right around the time Star Atlas is coming out. You can sell, and now you have the ability to buy more. You also have the ability to stake more and invest in yourself more in these ships. 4 years of staking. So I think we're all, if everybody plays it smart, we're going to all be at a higher level and have much more money as well as much more assets. Um, so what you have today is not what you're going to have 4 years from now. If you play it smart, it's going to be a lot more. So you won't feel as, how do I put this? You don't feel as timid to put some of maybe your bigger ships into play when that time comes. Because again, if you play the next 4 years smart, you're going to have many more assets.
Stay vulnerable.
There's no telling how much money I can lose in the next 4 years. I can tell you that.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said there's no telling how much money I can lose in the next 4 years.
Oh yeah. Well, you should look at a glass half full and see how much more money you can make rather than half empty. Perspective, my man.
That's true.
Sammy, go ahead. Did you raise your hand or were you just doing an emoji?
The Moon Man
Take it away, homie.
is F, bro. Love the energy.
Yes. You got to keep them high. You got to keep it high. Go ahead, Sammy. Sorry.
No, I was just having a moment trying to laugh at what was said, and I put my hand up by accident, as per usual.
Oh, no worries. Okay. You were just laughing at us. I see how it is, Sammy.
Sammy likes attention. He waved.
Always.
Like, look, oh, there's Sammy. Sammy's here. Look at him. Little peaky
Hey,
blinder
Sammy's
bastard.
here. Everybody look at Sammy.
Sammy. Yo, but I mean, serious. Like, you know what? As a bounty hunter in the past, as a straight up PKer, as you got to pick a side. There are lone wolves that go out there as bounty hunters,
and they'll take anybody. Like that's their creed, that's their motto, that's their gameplay, which is respectable. If that's what you're going to do, hunt everybody, hunt everybody. You know, that's cool. Me personally, I like to pick and choose my bad guys, kind of thing. You know, like in certain games when I play a certain faction, all other factions are on. People of my faction are always off, or people in my guild especially are always off. You know, and then you flip over to another character, and then you play the protection route. But I mean, you know, the general game style play I would imagine would be faction based, you know, allied based, things like that. I mean, there's just certain people you're supposed to keep off the table unless your whole game is being a true bounty hunter where money reigns and the contract is everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't think there's just going to be bad actors out there, but yeah, somebody may put a buck on your head and say, I want this guy out. Whatever, you know, it happens. There's got to be a reason why you're on that list. You know, either you're really good at what you do, you're making a ton of money, and you got the protection anyway. Because if you're good at what you do and got a ton of money, you know, you got the people around you because you're doing the right things. You know, but weakness or timidness, you can smell it in the water no matter what style of gameplay you're into. If somebody looks janky and scared, they're the first to go. I mean, the person sitting back, yeah, they get picked off first. You know, stragglers, man. There's people that just assign PvP just to get the stragglers. Like that guy hanging back, we don't know what he's into. Make sure you get him first. And you start targeting different people on comms. Like take out the strongest first, and then get the stragglers, see what they're up to. Maybe they got a hidden ace up their sleeve. You take them out. So you know you kind of want to mix it up and be in the middle of things. That's my take on it.
Frankie, I'm putting 2 Solana on your head, bro.
That's it. Come
Easy
on,
there,
I'm
easy.
just
come
messing with you,
on.
bro.
I'm worth more than
That's
that.
a good bounty.
Hey,
Woo.
I'm a 10 soul
I'd
guy,
say,
dude. Come
I'd
on.
say, I'd say, be careful putting a bounty on a made member in the Alessio family's head.
No shit. And
No,
I'd
this
also
is what
say
I'm
two
telling you
I
to
said
Solana's
be
like
more than
This is what
two
two.
I'm telling
Solana's
you
like
to do.
$10, bro.
If I don't stand up to Frankie, you know, then I'm just nobody.
Listen, two
Forget
Solana's like
about
$10
it.
right now, so that was blatant disrespect.
Yeah,
Second,
pick your
Yeah.
battles, my friend. Pick your battles.
God,
second,
man. Make,
you know what I mean?
50
This is the
cents. You
Alessio
dead.
No,
fam. This is
listen,
UMO.
listen,
Easy down there,
Frankie.
Bets.
This is how Sicilians talk. Come on.
Bets is out here placing his bets. I like it. It's
I'm,
getting
I'm
real
definitely worth
shicey up
more
in
than
here,
two.
guys. It's getting shady in here. I like it. This is
This is how
the
we get
shady
to
shit
know
I
each
like.
other, Italian community. Come on now.
Jedi, you had something to say. I seen your hand raised. What's up, homie?
Yeah, I was just gonna comment for something a little bit back, but I was just gonna say, ships, for the shipbuilding, we still don't know, how the time constraint for how long it's actually going to take to build a ship from, staking an NFT, a mining NFT, just to mine that, whatever you need, or how we're going to source those different parts or different items to build that ship. And so as time comes out, there's probably going to be, a lot of guilds, I'm sure, reading up as much as they can, anything that they can find coming out of Star Atlas officially on that stuff as time comes out, getting closer to the release here in a couple months. And so, we do have that coming up to look at, and hopefully that'll maybe rest a lot of the people, ease some tensions for a lot of the people that are super worried about losing a ship that's, $5,000, or, something that's, we could literally lose a ship that's like $100,000, So, is I think that's going to ease a lot of tensions once that does get released here soon.
Yeah, yeah, and also bringing up ships earlier. I know Karush was speaking about it. We can build ships like that's another way to make money. Like these blueprints that you find out in medium, that you find out in high risk. It's going to be a lot of money. I just feel like there's going to be a lot of things that is going to give you a lot of money. Obviously, people are going to be after those same things, but how do you know where to look if nobody's explored that area? I just think the Star Atlas Metaverse is going to be so vast, and I almost feel like when the game first starts, it's going to be so large that there's going to be conflict in the beginning, yes, but I also feel like there's going to be a lot of discovery. So the same way that we have these 4 years right now to make a lot of money and get our finances straight, and stake and do all these different things, I almost feel like the first month is also going to be the same way this first 4 years was, because it's just going to be so vast and there's going to be so many places that are undiscovered, and so much loot to gain before you even run into anybody. But then again, you probably will run into people, but you kind of maybe get what I'm saying. I think there's just going to be a lot to gain out there, man, and I feel like people are forgetting that. Then again, I don't have all the answers. I'm just speculating. Just my 2 cents, though.
I can't wait as soon as the game comes out to just hop in my biggest ship with the rest of the Frontarians and go straight for the red zone and just see what we can find. I don't know who else is going to be down for that. I know we have different risk tolerances, but just getting right there and seeing, like, when people first walked into like the Australian gold fields, there were just big gold nuggets lying on the ground in some places, and I hope there's going to be opportunities like that when we first get in there. And then, we'll have time to find wherever the pirate guild is. And I'm buying a couple of bombers right now, actually, because, we'll have our ships, we'll have our fleets, and, we'll be piloting our ships maybe first person and also have our fleets kind of with us on some of these missions. So I want to pick up a lot of these small bombers, these are fun.
That being said, who's bought any of the new ships?
Holding off right now. I think I will pick up at least a couple of those bombers probably, but just holding off for a little bit.
I grabbed the bomber. Atlas is so cheap, I had to.
I've got two.
Buying 2 bombers right now. Gonna buy a third one probably in a couple days.
Those
I want a dozen.
those mix, however you say it, mix or mix are those things are beautiful looking. I love the way those things look. Super, super sharp.
You know what? One of the Final Frontier members indicated that it was like a glass cannon, and I had to ask, "What the hell are you talking about?" It was really good attack, but very little defense.
Definitely got that look. Definitely got that look to it.
Yeah.
Got a very aggressive style.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of, smaller ships, maybe not having the biggest defense, just researching more and more about EVE Online, there's a lot of these small ships. When they go into wars, these small ships are actually, good battling against these bigger ships, because these bigger ships have such large cannons on them, such large hulls and weapons, right? That it's kind of hard for them to hit these smaller ships. So, if you have a fleet of a lot of small ships, you can sit there and just, distract, as well as, deplete that health of a bigger ship. So don't ever count out those little guys, man. They can do a lot of damage for sure, depending on how the game is set up. That is, we still don't know, speculation, obviously, but don't forget that. Um, it's hard to hit small targets sometimes.
I want to say thanks to
Yeah,
everybody.
and like you're saying, we still. So just like you were saying, everything still isn't out yet, but definitely like a real-time build strategy, just like a one-for-one space battle that you could have literally in real life. That's the way you need to be planning it out in Star Atlas, and if you're not looking at it that way, definitely should be.
So it's been about an hour.
Just
If anybody has any final thoughts, please feel free to say them. If anybody has anything to shill that you have coming up, please feel free to do that as well. The platform isn't huge, but there are listeners out there. And yeah, man, let's start wrapping this up. But please feel free to let the people know what you got going on. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give respect to Alessio family. That's start off strong and then be humble. So anyway, you guys be good. I'm glad that you brought this up, Moon Man, and it's been really good conversation, and it's good to connect with everybody. While the connection is good, because pretty soon it's gonna get hot.
Facts. Things will get crazy. Anybody else? Anybody else? Go ahead, Crab Man.
Final Frontier FIFA tournament coming up in April. Everybody be ready to check it out.
Bada boom, bada bang. Anybody else?
You went Italian, bro.
Oh, I always say bada boom, bada bang. Got to drop it like that. Well, hell, man. You got something else to say, Crab Man?
No, I was just trying to turn off the hand, and I'm bad at stuff, dude.
No, you good. You good. What's up, Barkeep?
Stay healthy, stay safe. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for having me up. Love to the Frontarians, love to Atlesio. Peace always in the metaverse until it's time for war.
Hell yeah. I think he summed it up well. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Maybe we'll do this again in another month or two. I love these discussions because we always get to down to business and the nitty gritty and brass tacks of some of what might actually be happening in the Star Atlas Metaverse. It's not all rainbows, sunshines, cupcakes, all that good stuff. It's good to talk like this and get the views from everybody. And yeah, man, you guys are my people. So thank you for coming up on stage and hanging out and, bullshitting with me. And, thank you for everybody in the audience listening in. Please give everybody a follow on stage that you see. These guys are great guys. They're part of some big guilds. And yeah, if you have any questions for any of us, please feel free to shoot any of them a DM. So thank you guys so much. And I will see you on the next one. And let's just all go out there and be great. And, keep that money coming in. Peace, y'all.
Peace, Moon Man.
Yeah, good job, my man. Way to make a good meeting and room.
Facts.
Top work, Moon Man. Top work.
You guys made it better. Thank you.